Amazing how they fit all of the mechanisms, the motor and everything, and the camera itself in this, while also having a very, very thin bezel at the top here and a speakerphone right there. How did they do this? How did they do this in 2019? Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. We got a super big unboxing day today. We got a lot of cool things to unpack. And you can see everything laid out in front of me here. Now what I'm going to do, so this isn't super duper long and drawn out, is I'm actually going to split all of these unboxings into their own separate videos. So if you are interested in one or more of these products, I will have links to the specific unboxing below. So feel free to watch those if you're interested. So the products we have in front of us today. This is the J5 Create Speakerphone Dock Pro. Super excited to get this unboxed here. And just a disclosure, J5 Create did send this to me to make content with. They did pay me to make a YouTube short. They did not pay for the content of this particular unboxing, so just something to keep in mind there. Over here, we have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Very excited to finally get this camera in hand. I have wanted this for quite some time. I'm really hoping it can help level up my content game. So excited to see what that can do for me. And I also bought the mini tripod because I feel like that's pretty essential for this. And I did purchase a set of screen protectors for the little display here as well, just because that was something that was highly recommended. But for the Osmo Pocket 3, I'm going to try to avoid buying any of the major accessories for a while. I'm not going to buy the battery pack. I'm not going to buy any of the lenses or the ND filters, because when I do a full review on the Osmo Pocket 3, I want to shape it in the sense of this is what you can do with the Pocket 3 without any accessories, because I know the content creator kit is a thing. I believe that's about $800 now. And I just want to do my own take on it and show that you don't need to spend $600 on the camera and then an additional $400 on accessories to make it look good. Definitely be on the lookout for that full review at some point in the near future. And also did get a 256 gig card because I just needed another one for the specific camera. Because I've got a bunch of like regular SD cards, but I didn't have any micros on hand for some reason. I don't know where they all went. They must be under my couch somewhere. Who knows? And then last on the list here, very excited for this. This is what I believe to be a very near perfect condition OnePlus 7T. I'm so excited for this. This is the next phone for the Planned Obsolescence Series. So if you guys haven't seen that series yet, the first phone I did for it was the Pixel Fold. So I've got a few videos out on that now, and depending on when this video comes out, I've got 1 or 2 more videos also coming out for the Pixel Fold in that series. So really cool phone. I got mine for $362 used. I've got the playlist linked down below, so definitely feel free to watch those. Now, in this particular video, we are going to unbox the OnePlus 7T. This is probably one of the most exciting things on the table here for me because it's a very special phone. It's extremely unique, and the more I did research on this, the more I thought this would be the perfect device for the Planned Obsolescence series. So we're gonna get started with unboxing that. So I'm gonna scoot all of these to the side. And again, if you wanna see me unbox any of these other products, definitely go ahead and check out their specific unboxing videos. Alrighty guys, so the OnePlus 7T Pro. This is, again, such a really cool device. If you know nothing about this, I don't wanna spoil too much for you. But let's just say they did a few things differently back in 2019 when this came out that other manufacturers aren't even doing today with phones. So I personally think this was ahead of its time in multiple ways, but we will get into that in a little bit here. This is just the unboxing and initial hands-on with the device. But again, there's gonna be plenty more videos in the Planned Obsolescence series with this phone. So go ahead and get subscribed if you do wanna see those at some point. All right, so you'll notice, very rare for a 2019 phone. I'm gonna cover these labels up. it is in its original box. The box is in extremely good condition, and I did buy this device through Swappa. Swappa is kind of my go-to when it comes to used phones. I've had many good experiences with Swappa. It's never once let me down. Not sponsored, by the way. I just really enjoy the site. So we've got some really cool writing here on the front of the box. And as we open this up, I gotta be honest with you guys, I was thinking that I would film a YouTube short with this and that would be the end of it. But after I saw the fact that it came in its original box, and I believe all the original accessories are in here as well, thought that it really just demanded its own standalone video, because this is a almost 6-year-old device at this point, and you don't unbox new 6-year-old devices every day, so I thought it was pretty cool. So if you guys want to geek out with me, you know, thanks for being here. All right, so opening it up, I was kind of expecting to see the phone, but we've got we've got a sleeve here. All right, so OnePlus. Man, it looks like this was untouched. I'm not even sure if these were ever pulled out. Oh wow. Okay. Cool. All right, we'll get to the phone in a second here. I just want to look through these. Yeah, these are the original materials. You can see a little bit of what made this phone so cool right here. There's a little tease for you guys if you don't already know. But yeah, this is the original pamphlets, it looks like. We've got an invitation letter. Let me look at this really quick, because I honestly don't know what this is. Invitation letter. Oh, wow. So I'm not gonna read this out here, but if you guys wanna pause this and see, I believe this is from the CEO of OnePlus. Looks like his name is Pete. So very cool. I don't know if they still do this with their phones. I'll be honest, this is my first ever OnePlus device. But yeah, invitation letter included in the box with the OnePlus branding. That's really cool. Don't see that with iPhones or anything like that, I'll tell you what. All right, so super cool. And again, looks like everything was included with this phone. So we'll scoot all these to the side. Oh, there's something else in here. What do we have? Looks like this was the SIM card tray at one point. Again, branded. I don't know what the SIM card looked like. I don't have it in here. And these are stickers. Untouched. Cool. Vintage. All right, so setting this stuff aside. All right, here is the phone. Beautiful presentation, never settle. Love that branding. And it looks like we've got some fingerprints on this thing. I have not made any attempt to clean this. This is as is in its current state. I have not seen the phone up until this point. So definitely keep in mind that I will clean this for the next video, but I just wanted to unbox this thing for you guys. Man, just look how cool this thing is, guys. Oh, it's so thin. Whoa, okay, this is gonna be hard to take out of here. I'm not gonna lie. Wow, how do you get this out of here? Oof. I don't wanna have to flip this, but I'm gonna have to flip this. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous, look at this color. That is a beautiful blue right there with the gradient and the satin. Gorgeous. Man, the back of this phone still looks modern by today's standards with the triple camera layout. That's really awesome. Wow. Let's look at the sides here. Very, very nice. Okay, so I'm seeing it's not in completely perfect condition, I'll be honest. What drew me to this phone is the owner said that it was very well maintained. It will take a little bit of cleaning. That's pretty normal when it comes to used products. Sides are extremely thin. The build quality kind of reminds me of the Galaxy S8, I'm not gonna lie, with the very minimal rounded sides on the top and the bottom. So that's super cool. Let's see if we can power it on. I'm assuming this is the power button. Let's see if we've got a charge in this guy. We will see. There is the OnePlus logo, powered by Android. Gorgeous. I am so excited. And again, what's cool about this phone, guys, is this actually did not release in the States. I believe this was for overseas markets entirely. And this phone also has the distinction of being one of the smallest spec bumps ever, from the OnePlus 7 Pro to the 7T Pro. So we will definitely talk about the full specs at some point in the near future here. And man, you can just see how gorgeous this display is, even by today's standards. I am seeing some evidence of burn in there. Pretty normal for a phone of this age, not gonna lie. And it looks like we just have the burn-in at the top. So, not too bad. But the bezel-less design of this screen, so cool. Man, it's hard to believe that they had this figured out back in 2019, but today, you know, we still got hole punch cameras and even notches on the front. So, really makes you think. All right, so it is checking for updates. I don't know off the top of my head what the last update was that this received for Android, and as well as security patches. Setting up the fingerprint sensor. And I've never actually used an in-screen fingerprint sensor, so this is pretty cool. And it's just gonna have me put my finger over different spots of it here. Try to get over that way. And okay, now it wants me to do the edges of my fingerprint. Cool beans. Okay, that was super fast setting up. Font and display size, that all looks good to me, sure. What does OnePlus Sans look like? Ooh, I actually like OnePlus Sans, I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty good. Go ahead and apply. Navigation gestures, very cool, very modern. Okay, it says it's ready. I haven't signed into my Google account. I'll do that off camera just so this isn't too lengthy for you guys. But here it is. Here is the OnePlus 7T. And let's take a look here. I wanted to go into our settings. Okay. All right, so I was looking for the system information. So we're running Android 12. I believe this was the last version of Android that this received. So we're a little bit behind at this point. Android security update, last one was December 5th, 2022. So it looks like this received 2, maybe 3 years of updates. Not the best, not the worst. But back in 2019, you know, 2 to 3 years of coverage was considered the norm for pretty much any phone aside from iPhones. And scrolling through the rest of this, we can see the stats of the phone. Let me try to get the glare off there for you. So Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus. We've got our 8 gigs of RAM, and it says plus 3 gigs RAM expansion. Ooh, interesting. I don't know how this will affect the phone's performance, but it does have a RAM expansion feature. That is fascinating. Android version 12, as we saw. Oxygen OS. I've never tried out Oxygen OS before, so I'm really excited about this. And just the whole OnePlus experience is completely new to me. Gestures feel very smooth. That is nice. Cool beans. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for, guys. Please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. Yes, it works. The selfie camera works. Oh my God. Ignore my setup, by the way. This is how I film these top-down shots. But you can see it's a little dirty, but it still works. Thank God, because if this camera didn't work, honestly, I probably would have ended up returning the phone and trying to find a different one. But that is the headline feature of this phone right there, is the pop-up selfie camera. And to be honest, I don't know why they killed this as a feature. I think it's really cool. There it goes. I feel like this was so ahead of its time, and I could totally see pop-up selfie cameras make a comeback at some point, just because I can't think of an easier way to do a bezel-less all-screen design than having the selfie camera live in the phone housing. It seems like that would take way less engineering than mounting a camera underneath the screen itself, but that's just me. And yeah, let's see what apps this comes pre-installed with. All right, so we've got some pretty standard stuff. We've got some Google, we've got some OnePlus apps. We've got a OnePlus store, that's neat. YouTube Music, of course. Pretty cool. I wanna see what YouTube looks like really quick. Because fun fact, it's actually YouTube's 20th anniversary today as I'm filming this. Shout out to YouTube. Couldn't do this without you. All right, we're gonna look at my channel, of course. Oh, puppies. All right, there is me. Cool. So screen feels very responsive. I believe this is a 90 Hertz display. I've gotten pretty used to 120 Hertz, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, this feels pretty good. Scrolling is very nice, very fluid. Cool. And again, gestures feel very smooth. This is very snappy for a phone from 2019. So awesome. Again, let's take a look at the rest of the phone. So we've got the little notification slider here. So cool. Really good haptics too, by the way. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna have to play around with that off camera here. We've got our power button on that side. Again, that beautiful blue color. Phone feels a little bit warm in my hand. It's probably just because it's activating, getting everything set up. Bottom side, we've got our speaker, got our USB-C port. I don't know if this is like tape or something, or if it's really worn out there. Not quite sure. I'll try to clean that up for you guys. SIM card there on the bottom right, or left rather. Got volume rocker on this side here. I'm curious what the audio quality is like for this. And then of course, on the very top, we've got our camera housing fitting right into the top of the phone. And it's amazing how they fit all of the mechanisms, the motor and everything, and the camera itself in this, while also having a very, very thin bezel at the top here and a speakerphone right there. How did they do this? How did they do this in 2019? Yeah, these bezels are really good even by today's standard. For the bottom though, I know the wallpaper's a little bit dark. Let me try to do an all white screen. There we go. So not too bad on the bottom bezels. Sides and top are really, really good. The phone is slightly rounded, as you can see. So again, really reminds me of the Galaxy S8 with this design. Kind of has the waterfall edges going on there. So cool. All right, so guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. That was the unboxing of the OnePlus 7T Pro. Really excited for this phone. This was one of the best phones in the world back in 2019. So I thought this would be the perfect device to add to the Planned Obsolescence Series, take it through its paces, see if it can survive a day in 2025 life about 6 years after it came out. So I will definitely put this thing through its paces. But if you wanna see the next video in the series with this phone, I'm gonna start working on it. I'm going to get this phone cleaned up. I'm going to get my Google account on it, all my usual apps and stuff. We'll see what is able to run, what isn't. And yeah, I will do a full test of this guy for you. But again, one of the coolest phones ever made, and I am really excited by this thing.